Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this video is about a Lilith Ketu South Node and Neptune Yod, a finger of God chart aspect shape which exists for the first half of September 2023, and it's a supplementary to the three main videos where I talk about September 2023 astrology. It's standalone because it's really important for those who are attuned to Neptune energies and to the nature of Lilith, which is so important to understand. And of course to Ketu, the south node of the moon, which is part of our fate and destiny direction. Ketu's where we come into in this incarnation from previous lives. So basically there's a Yod in the chart for the very start of September, and it's present for a couple of weeks when it actually morphs into another Yod. See below. A Yod is a finger of God chart aspect shape. It's a very, very thin, long triangle. And basically, the base of a Yod is when two planets are in sextile aspect to each other. But the long finger of the Yod is the two quincunx lines that go from the planet at either end of the base. And because the apex planet is quite stressfully affected by those two quincunxes aimed at it, that planet takes on quite a special fated and destined importance. So in this case, the base of the Yod is Lilith sextile Ketu, the south node of the moon. And the apex planet of the Yod is Neptune, planet of vision and sensitivity and spiritual realization and energetic sensitivities, or negatively, planet of drink, drugs, delusion. So to sum up, there's a quincunx aspect from Lilith to Neptune, there's a quincunx aspect from Ketu to Neptune, and Lilith and Ketu are in sextile. Now with this particular Yod, it does offer you a very special and wonderful vision working opportunity for a couple of weeks. You see, Neptune is extremely visionary, but Ketu is extremely spiritual and can cut away at mundane reality for spiritual purpose. And of course Lilith is our shadow material, our unconscious buried material, including especially the dimension of our wild side that we need to meet and know of and understand and manifest ethically if we are to be the fullness of us. So if you're inclined to visionary work, do make time to focus on the nature of this Yod's energy and the planet's energies involved and the special energy combination they take on because they're in this particular Yod chart aspect shape. A session with shamanic drumming and journeying could be very productive at this time. Now, as I said, the apex planet of a Yod takes on a special fated and destined energy, in this case Neptune. So what it means is that how we handle Neptune could go through an important change, a metamorphosis, similar to if Neptune is activated by a progression or a transit, but deeper given that Ketu and Lilith are drawn into it. The Lilith Ketu Neptune Yod is a very big topic for those who can take time and have the ability to attune to its energy. Lilith starts September at 2 Vedic Leo, Ketu starts September at 3 Vedic Leo, and Neptune is at 2 Pisces. So the apex planet of a Yod, Neptune in this case, takes on a very significant principle, demanding clear and purposeful expression. You can be clear and purposeful with mystical Neptune by working away at the energy of the planets in some way or method that's right for you, whichever your method is right. I'll be telling you about my methods in a bit. So we work away at the energy of the apex planet Neptune initially. But we do this by bringing in what Ketu means in our life, what Lilith means in our life. In this way, we reach out to clarify the nature of the apex planet more and more, relating to the apex planet more and more, maybe through images, visions, and hopefully not illusions, but rather genuinely connecting to the supremely important needed energy of Neptune. And indeed, we could be forced to go through this work because of the mounting tension we will inescapably feel by the Ketu-Lilith combination. So basically, the nature of how one contacts the apex planet of a Yod is like this. You're walking along life's pathway in relation to the apex planet. That's how you how you handle Neptune, how you contact Neptune. But as you're walking along that pathway, you're feeling more and more uneasy. And then it actually happens that you find the pathway you are on no longer exists. And why is that? It's because you've come to a fork in the road. You have to make a choice, left path or right path. You have to change the way you handle the apex planet of a Yod when you come to that activation. And so it might be a call to really jack up your connection with Neptune, because you're also having to consider your buried and unconscious material that is Lilith, and your ancestral and past life energies that is cutting and supremely spiritual Ketu. So, the point is that the way you've been handling Neptune might cease to exist. You might find yourself on an even better path with Neptune, because you have to choose the left fork or the right fork, as it were, in how you relate to Neptune. You might have to reassess how you perceive and handle Neptune energies, maybe handle them more, maybe handle them better. And when we choose one or two new possible directions in how we understand and handle Neptune, it will actually have a must-do, fated feel about it. So what is Neptune about? Well, Neptune is vision and sensitivity, and better vision. What I could tell you is how, I've experienced Neptune and how it's been activated for me and what it's meant. It might be helpful because Neptune is an unaspected sub-personality in my chart. And when it was activated, particularly 23 years ago, well, I first of all saw a clairvoyant in Bristol. I'd never met a clairvoyant before. And she said, you're going to experience clairaudience. And I didn't know what clairaudience was. But then I did. I heard these words. I heard these endless statements. And then it turned from clairaudience to also be clairvision. And I saw the journey of a young man in the hunter-gatherer period, the Mesolithic period. And I wrote down the words I heard and the visions I saw into my first novel, The Tribe. But not only that, I developed like a special sensitivity to rock energies, able to put my hand on a rock and really feel the energies. And, I went to stone circles in that southwest England area, including, of course, Stonehenge and Avebury, and really got, quite wonderful feelings and impressions from those rocks. And remember, the Stonehenge people actually brought the rocks they used hundreds of miles from South Wales because those particular rocks were so important. And I run sacred West of Ireland tours here in the West of Ireland. And again, believe me, the high quartz energy in the rocks, which are used for the Neolithic tombs around here, are so impressive to feel. And they actually alter the effect of earth energies on you. All this sort of thing, arose when Neptune was activated. Oh, and I went on a shamanic healer course indeed at that time, although I'd been doing shamanic healing for, a good 10 years before that. But just one last thing I want to say. Note that a second overlapping yod sets in from the 4th of September. Now, whereas the first yod is in orb until the 12th of September, this second overlapping yod is in orb until the 14th of September. And that one has a base of Neptune sextile Pluto, where both of those are in quincunx to the apex planet Lilith. Well, Neptune, Pluto, if you look at Reinhold Eberton's combination of stellar influences, is contact with the divine. Lilith is what's buried in our unconscious and our shadow, including our needed wild side. So I'm glad to be telling those of you who can work with visionary energies about these two yods in September 2023. And I certainly seek to make space, perhaps there's a session of shamanic drumming, to visualize the yod, or indeed the yods, and see what comes to me. Perhaps even do a session in a Neolithic court tomb. My wife, Maggie Pashley, uses a thing called the Lecker antenna, which, I'm just trying to see it. No, it doesn't appear to be to hand, which actually responds to rock and earth energies. And what we found when we take like the Sacred West of Ireland tours to the court tomb, for example, at the battlefield of Moitura Plateau, when you actually step inside the court, which has a tomb at each end, there's an energy of utter peace. And the Lecker antenna reveals that the negative earth energies, Hartmann and Curry lines, are actually diverted round the high quartz rocks of the court. So it's really worth experiencing sitting inside the court where the energy is utterly pure. So it's an unusual topic, but it's certainly worth hearing all this, and I hope it's helpful to many. Oh, and get a reading from me. Go to my Star Wheel Astrology website, and also have a look at my Love Star Dating website, which is a international dating site for those who are on spiritual pathways and seeking love. Okay, all blessings. Bye-bye.